Shy, you've got to realise.
So I'm going to get Con to start this process whereby we're going to deliver some recognition of support for the contribution that those who are here have made to this significant event, recognising that this memorial, it's quite a substantial memorial, and it's sitting next to St Mary's, which didn't happen in this first part of this project, but happened at nearly the end of the project. And by providence, or whatever purpose, it has come to be in the public area of Brisbane City Council, facing out from the church into the public arena. Almost exactly what Canon Garland would have wanted, because not only was he interested and formed Anzac Day for the purpose of the common people, he actually just lived down the road and was a very good friend of Lieutenant Maitland Woods, who was the rector here, and he was very friendly with this church. Meanwhile, he was the rector over at Wollongabba. So that's the journey of this, but to just read out that the Canon Garland Memorial Anzac Day Origins is built to honour the Queensland citizens who pioneered Anzac Day in solemn commemoration of the fallen. So that was the principle. And it was at 11 o'clock on the 22nd of April 2016 that this process of unveiling this memorial took place, with the help of everybody here that I can see. So, with that behind us, there's also a sponsor's plaque on the side wall for those who have contributed significantly to the investment in this memorial. And on the front plaque it says, "Opened His Excellency the Honourable Paul de Jersey on the 22nd day of April. The Canon Garland Memorial Society commissioned this memorial. Sculptor was Dr. Neil Pinwood, who is here today, funded by the Australian and Queensland governments, sponsorships and donations from the community." So with that blessing, you know, we march forward. So now I'm going to introduce Con to talk a little bit about the medals that we're going to give out, which I've displayed to you all, and he's going to tell you how they came about.
Well, that bit is easy. They came about through the creative spirit of one Dr. Will Hinwood. That's Ross and I, actually went in and we convinced the young lady that she should help us and that she should create something that is memorable. And I think she has well done that. In colour, it's even brighter and more interesting. I think, Dr. Hinwood, I hope you're pleased with the results. Normally, her work graces cathedrals, parks, etc. But I don't know how much jewellery you have designed, but there's one there right now. The main thing that I would like to say was it's been a long journey, but it's over so quick. And one of the things in my heart, and I think that in the heart of everybody who participated in this project, it has left a warm, wonderful glow that we have achieved something important. The history of a nation is the soul of the nation, and not to know it is a sin. So the fact that we have done this, we have reminded people of the important parts of our history, is extremely important. And I hope that every one of you who's here will go away and, like I, knock on doors, and when they open you say, "Look, I have a message for you." But then you go on and say, "Do you know who Canon Garland was?" And interestingly enough, when we first started, I did that and nobody knew. From generals, which I had a chance to do, to ordinary in the street people. Now, I was surprised a couple of times when I said, "Do you know who Canon Garland was?" And they said, "Well, yeah, of course. He's the architect of Anzac Day." and the glow sort of got a bit brighter. But it's not a one-man or two-man project. It's a project that is covered by many people who are here who have helped, including, I guess, the most important people, that are the sponsors. Before I go to that, I have to betray a confidence, and I hope that the person will forgive me in the long run, and that is Bill Glasson, our president. He has put in not only his time, but significant amounts of money into this, and he said that under no account should this become known. He wanted to do it anonymously. I didn't think so, and I did not give an oath to not to say anything, so here I am saying that. Well, I would like to now call on Barry McIntosh to come up to the front here. Barry represents the Hartnett Metropolitan Funerals. I must say at this stage that the founder of the company, Hartnett, was known for his community spirit and his assistance to worthy causes. And in going on with this, the company has also assisted us, not only in putting in the memorial here, but also funding the medals that we have produced. So could you, Barry, on behalf of Hartnett and also all the other sponsors, come up here and receive this medal.
Well done, Barry. I should say that Barry has, his company has donated these medals to our organisation so that we can deliver this process to you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ross. Can I just, for a moment, take the opportunity to talk about the power of word of mouth? As a funeral director, I would see Con from time to time at funeral services at the St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church Cathedral, Kangaroo Point, just a kilometre from here. And one day on the steps of the church after he said to me, about the first time I'd ever heard about Reverend Canon John Garland, and not only did I was thinking, what's he talking about? Who is he talking about? But from that initial mention, I did my own investigation and following, plus emails that Con would now start to include me in. And as Peter Collins, where's Peter, was just saying inside St. Mary's during a recorded interview, that he still is learning and researching, I guess, today. And I'm just so fascinated by the whole story of Canon Garland, and as recently as a few days ago, reading on a website, well, a link about his funeral at St. Barnabas Ashgrove and his burial at Toowong Cemetery, and just reading the list of the pallbearers, which was included the Premier of the day. Was it William Forgan Smith? Is that right? The right name? Yes. So it's been an honour to be involved and associated with Canon Garland Memorial Society, and thank you so much, Con, for mentioning it to me that day, because since then I've mentioned his story, not Con's story, Reverend Canon Garland's, to my circle of friends and business contacts, and just spreading the word. And I encourage them to read, to research, and also to pass on the word about the significant achievements of his ministry and his life, and so it's just a really proud day for all associated. So thank you.
Thank you, Barry. That's a little pin to hold your gear together. So would you please stay on for a little while? So we have some order of delivery of these medals. We thought that the founding members should be treated, if you like, the first one's in and probably the last one's off the tram. So I'm going to introduce Con, who I know reasonably well, from now, having known him since way back, 2011 maybe. But from the strength of purpose, Con has a great knowledge of history, from global history, if you like, theology. I can give his background. He's a great music coordinator of events that we put on, and particularly through this process, we've valued those experiences immensely through Con's diligence and ability to manage our events. So on that basis, Con, I'd hope that Barry can give you your medal, and thank you for all you've achieved for this society.
Thank you. That's not on the line. As they say, the last shall be first. I was here last, but there we go. I would like to respond, and it sounds like one's praising one and you've got to praise the other, but it's not like that. I can definitely say that if it wasn't for Ross, more than likely the whole thing would have been a small plaque, maybe at the Holy Trinity Church, maybe elsewhere, but certainly it would have not had the effect, the society would not have had the effect that it had if it wasn't for the cool, calm and collected and organised approach that Ross had brought to the society. And with his abilities, he managed to get the state government on board and others, so we got a grant and all that sort of thing. But the thing is, those that participated in the journey would know how much effort, at times when he was not disposed well, to take yourself into a fist and go ahead and do it. And that is Ross. My absolute delight in having the chance to work with you, Ross. Ross, I would like Barry to present you with the medal. I know that you, like the rest of us, will wear it with pride. And when people say, "That's a beautiful little badge, what is it?" you will say, "It's not a badge, it's a medal for being part of the Cannon Garland Memorial Society." And by the way, there's only 30 of them and there will not be any more.
Thank you, Con. I guess my wife Adele would maybe perhaps tell how many hours we've spent doing this task, but anyway, could have been doing something else for Adele. So we move on.
Yes. And now I would like to ask Paul Noskoff to come up. A little bit about Paul. Born Brisbane, bred Brisbane, lived Brisbane, educated Brisbane. However, not Ecology, yes, free publicity for the opposition. But Paul's family has an illustrious history. His father was fought in World War I. He received one of the highest orders, this Order of St. George medal, which apparently he never discussed, and Paul only found out about it later. His uncle, your grandfather-in-law Ross, was a sailor on the last Russian Imperial fleet. Now, the reason for mentioning all the Russian connection is because the Dardanelles was an attempt to cut through the Turkish lines and connect Russia and the Allies together. They were the Allies. and they took part here as well. So it is my greatest pleasure to introduce Paul, an outstanding community member, and ask Barry to pin him with the Canon Garland Memorial Society. And while he's doing that, I've got to tell you, it started off with us talking about, really we should maybe have a society, whatever it is. That's Ross, myself, and Paul. Except that Paul went out, invited a whole bunch of people and said, right, we are now a society. And that's how it all started. So, Paul, I guess officially you're our mascot, and as well as the as well as the founder.
Thank you very much. Well, my efforts were very humble. I wasn't that important a figure. Unfortunately, I got taken out of the society when I was T-boned by a truck. So my days as secretary were okay, but they ended, and I ended up at home rehabilitating. But I'm very pleased that the society continued and that it finally achieved its goal, and I must say it's a magnificent monument and a magnificent site as well to be enjoyed by all the citizens of this city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. We do have David Murray, who's an apology, so he's also one of the founding members, as of course the apology comes from Dr. Bill Glasson, as we stated. But there are also apologies from Ms. Terry Butler, who's already wearing one of these, and Dr. John Moses will be here in June to receive his medal. So that's it.
We now move on to...
So we classify the next bit into the location and design of this memorial. So for those who participated in that process, we're now going to introduce those.
Can we ask Canon Gary Harch to come up, please? Let me say that it is due to Canon Gary Harch that we have been able to put the monument in such a premier position. Now, most of you may not even know, but the fact is we have now, since the memorial been put in place, a tradition whereby, if they so desire, the brides leave their bouquet, or if not their bouquet, then the flowers that they bring to church, to be placed in front of the memorial. So I think this is one of the few memorials in Brisbane that has continually live flowers in front of it. And also